Hello and welcome to Byron's Chat and Sports page. This video is going to be a continuation of the Supernatural season review. And as you can see, I'm wearing my Supernatural shirt. So basically we're going to be reviewing season 3 today. Season 3 was slightly shorter than all the other seasons, mainly because of a writer's strike, which reduced the number of episodes down from the usual 20 odd episodes down to, I believe it was 16. Season 3 carries on where season 2 left off. And obviously, Dean has only a year to live, so he's going out. He's going all guns blazing in his investigations. He's taking more risks because he sees it. I've got a year to live. I might as well just make the most of it. He overindulges in food, alcohol, women. And obviously Sam is trying to save him throughout this season, and he can't quite understand why Dean doesn't want to be saved at first. He's like, I'm trying to save you. Why do you have no care in the world? And he goes, I've had such a long history of hunting, and so many bad things happen that there's like light at the end of the tunnel. And Sam goes, it's hellfire, Dean. So Sam is just constantly trying to find ways of getting Dean out of his deal. And Dean goes, well, if you try and get me out of my deal, you die. And Sam goes, you shouldn't have done that. That's selfish. He goes, I don't care. You're alive. I feel good in a long time. So let's save the world and go down hunting, go down fighting. So, as I said, there's 16 episodes in this one. So where are we? Season 3. Bear with me a second. So you've got obviously in the end of season 2, they let out all the demons, didn't they? The Devil's Gate. So you've got all these demons now out vying for positions. So that's the Magnificent Seven. I'll read out the description. Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, pride. Now, these are all demons that got let out of hell. So when the Devil's Gates opened, hundreds of demons escaped, including the 7 deadly sins, who have now taken human form. Yeah, I think that's a really great episode. That really good. And you meet some fellow hunters in this one as well, and one of them dies because they make him drink this petrol. It's really, really, really good. The next episode, the kids are all right. This is where Dean drops in an old flame who hasn't seen in a long time, Lisa. And he meets this young chap who's Lisa's son, and he's got all the mannerisms that Dean has. And Dean starts wondering, hang on, last time I saw you was like 8-9 years ago. He's got all the mannerisms as me. Is he my son? And she goes, no. And apparently, so basically it's Dean drops in on an old girlfriend he hasn't seen in 9 years. Weird, she has an 8-year-old who sure reminds Dean of Dean. Weirder, the neighbourhood kids are suddenly different, frighteningly different. All the kids get kidnapped. And some weird entity monster takes over in the image of their kid. It's really, I like that episode. That was really good. Then you got Bad Day at Black Rock. This one is really, really good. This is where we get introduced to another character called Bella, and also in the first 2 episodes, I forget to mention, we get introduced to Sam's demon friend Ruby, who is played by Kate Cassidy in this one, and very good actress. So in episode 3, we get introduced to Bella, and anyone who recognises the actress who plays Bella, you should, because later on she turns out in The Walking Dead. Great show. I'll do a review on that at some point as well. So it's basically they find the rabbit's foot, basically. So it's Sam's lucky day when he touches a rabbit's foot. Everything from scratching lottery tickets to fighting bad guys goes right. Then Sam loses a foot. Of course, you always lose a foot. You never carry on, uh, hold on to it. And everything goes wrong, maybe dead wrong. Basically, the rabbit's foot is a curse. Anyone that loses it, when they get it, they get lucky. When they lose it, they're dead within a week. And so Bella is obviously after this rabbit's foot. She's a money grabbing bitch. We find out more about Bella later on in the season, so I'll talk about it in a bit. And they force her to burn a rabbit's foot. Before they do, Bella makes off with the lottery tickets that Dean bought earlier. So great, really great. And there's a little thing in that episode where Dean first says "son of a bitch," and if you look at Jared's face, Sam's face, he's trying not to crack up. I'm sure he's nearly breaking character in that one. They do that in quite a few early episodes actually, where they nearly try and break each other in character, and they actually keep it in because it's funny. Then we have another next episode, Sin City. Vegas is for wimps. America's hottest Sin City is Elizabethville, Oreo, a nowhere factory town that's sunk in booze, gambling, sex, and violence, thanks to some newly arrived hellspawn. Not a bad episode, that one. I think I remember right now. It's a pretty good one. Then we have bedtime stories. Once upon a time, there's a couple of Grimm brothers, Sam and Dean, versus the Brothers Grimm when a rash of gruesome murders, patterns on fairy tales terrifies a small town. This one is where there's this little girl in the hospital, and her father works there, and the father's reading all these stories. The brothers are trying to work out why all these murders are happening based on like fairy tale stories. Well, it turns out that the daughter is in the hospital, got poisoned by her father's other half. So when he's reading her these stories, her daughter is trying to communicate with her father, but he's not listening. So every time he tells her these stories, the daughter goes off and murders these people in relation to the stories. And at the end, it has to be Sam who talks to the doctor, says, "Look, your daughter is trying to tell you something." And he goes, "Okay." So he tells his daughter, "Look, I'm listening now." And then the murders stop. Great episode, that one. I really enjoy that one. Then we have Red Sky at Morning. A watery death. Without the water, Bella joins the boys in solving the mystery of a ghost ship that appears every 37 years, leaving dry land drownings in its wake. Oh yeah, this one is where they see a ship. All these people see a ship, and then after they see the ship, they die. And apparently, the reason why is back in the day, two brothers. One got the other brother killed and chopped off his hand, and so now he's like seeking revenge on anyone who's committed that sort of offence, basically. Yeah, it's a really good episode. Obviously, Bella is in the frame as well because of what she did to her family, which we'll talk about more later. But that's a really good episode as well. Then we have Fresh Blood. This is where we get introduced to Gordon Walker again. So basically, Gordon Walker's been in prison. So he escapes from prison, intent on killing Sam, because now he believes that Sam is the Antichrist, basically. He thinks Sam's going to be the spawn of the devil, lead the army, demon army. So Gordon Walker escapes from prison, intent on killing Sam. Running with a vampire leaves Gordon one of the undead, and an even more formidable foe. So basically, he becomes a vampire, and even then, he's intent on killing Sam. And he tells his friend, "You have to kill me, but first, you must let me do this. You must let me have one last good deed and kill Sam." And obviously, Sam ends up beheading Gordon in quite a cold fashion. And Dean obviously said to Bobby at the end, "Is my brother all right? Because he seems very cold." He goes, "I'm sure he's fine." I like that episode because we begin to see Dark Sam. The next one is a lovely episode. A Very Supernatural Christmas was basically Dean's last Christmas. So basically, what comes down the chimney is Santa Claus. What goes up the chimney screaming, clawing victims of the Anti-Claus, a pagan god with an unholy thirst for blood. Scary Christmas, Sam and Dean. So these people pose as normal people, but they kill kids' parents. And Dean wants to celebrate Christmas. And Sam's like, no, I don't want to celebrate Christmas. I don't want to celebrate Christmas. He goes, why? It's just, I just don't. And then we start seeing flashbacks of Dean and Sam when they were really young, like celebrating Christmas. And they eventually sit down and Dean, I think they say, why don't we want to celebrate Christmas? And was it that bad for you when you were a kid? He goes, no. And then Dean goes, well, it's my last year. And Sam goes, yeah, that's why I can't. Because I know next Christmas you'll be dead. But eventually, at the end of the episode, once they've defeated the foe, they have a nice get-together and celebrate Christmas. It's lovely, lovely. Next episode is called Malleus Maleficarum. A woman's book club is really a cover for a murderer's coven. And Ruby has suspiciously accurate knowledge about how witches kill. Great episode, great episode. This is 3 women. They're like from this book club. They're witches basically, and they try and get good fortune through witchcraft. But what we don't know is 2 of them are witches. One of them is actually a demon, but we don't know this till later. And 2 of them get good fortune out of what they're doing, but one of them doesn't. And Sam goes to them because they've poisoned Dean of a coven. He goes, everyone's got good fortune apart from you, Tammy. Now, why is that? Is it because you've already got what you want, like these women's souls? And then there you go. And then later on, once she's defeated, Ruby and Dean talk, and Dean goes, there's no way of saving me from the pit, is there? And Ruby goes, no. And he goes, well, why did you tell Sam that you could? And she goes, well, I need him to talk to me. And then she goes, I need you to help me get him ready for a life without you. And she says she still remembers what it feels like to be human. But I think there's glimpses in these early episodes where you see the look on Ruby's face where she's not genuine. I like that episode. It's really, really good. Then we have Dream a Little Dream of Me. Yeah, I like this one. This is where Bobby is asleep and he's getting attacked by his wife in the dream. He's obviously taken this dream route. And with the aid of a plant called African Dream Root, Sam and Dean dreamwalk into Bobby's head, hoping to discover who or what put their friend into a coma. Great episode, that one. Really great episode. Really enjoyed it. The next episode after that is one of my favourites in season 3, The Mystery Spot. This is where they run into the trickster again. And basically the trickster puts Sam and Dean into a loop where every day, and it's Tuesday, and every day Dean dies a different way every single day. And when that happens, Sam wakes up. And the trickster is trying to drum into Sam's head that no matter what he does, he can't save Dean. So, and eventually he puts it forward to Wednesday, but then Dean gets killed again. Eventually it goes forward 6 months in time, and the trickster appears again, and he goes, I need you to understand something. You will not be able to save Dean. And he goes, please, please, please. Just bringing him back to life. So the trickster goes, okay, I will, but there's something I know and you to find out. And he clicks his fingers, and Sam wakes up, and it's Wednesday, and they get the hell out of the hotel they're staying in. So it's a great episode because it's great to see Dean die in all sorts of different ways. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. That episode is one that's a classic for me. Then you've got Justin Bellow. Is it right to sacrifice one person in the hope of saving many? Sam and Dean wrestle with that heart-wrenching question when they're jailed in a small town where the locals are possessed by demons. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's a good one. I enjoyed that one. That's a really good episode, that one. What one's this? I'm trying to think which one that is. I think that's one when they meet Henderson again. Yeah, so I think that's the one I think it is. Yeah, it's a good one. The next one is where we meet the Ghostfacers for the very first time. Strap in for the scariest hour in the history of television. Ghost hunting D-Weaves and reality show wannabes Ed and Harry. Yeah, the Ghostfacers. Invade the same haunted house Sam and Dean are investigating. The results are unreal. Yeah, Ghostfacers episodes. Don't get me wrong, I did like the Ghostfacers episodes, but I do prefer it when the show just focuses more on Sam and Dean. It kind of tailed off, and I didn't find the episode as enjoyable. Then we got Long Distance Call, which is the next episode. Calls from dead loved ones lure the living to suicide. For the brothers, it's a classic exercise in demon hunting logic. But Dean loses his scientific detachment when he receives one of the calls from John. Obviously, the call is not from John. It's from an evil monster. But he obviously takes on all his different voices through the machine. And apparently he goes, why did you do that deal? And Dean goes, I had to. You told me to save him. He goes, I never wanted this. So they end up killing the demon monster in the end. It's a really, really good episode. And obviously by this point, Dean wants Sam to save him. He's scared of going to hell because he's seen, obviously, in the previous episode, what will happen to him in hell when he becomes a demon. And obviously, Dean is terrified of this. And obviously now with the year running out, he's very terrified of going to hell. Okay, we're nearly there. Time on My Side is the next episode. In 1816, a doctor sought the secret to eternal life by harvesting vital organs from the living. Maybe he found it. The dot is still going strong in 2008. This is basically the living forever sort of formula, which Sam is hopeful can save Dean. But in the gist of it, Dean in the long run will become like a monster because he has to kill people to put like a heart or a kidney in him. And Dean goes, no, I can't do this. I'd rather go to hell. He goes, but this will save you. Until we find something more permanent. He goes, no, I'd rather go to hell. And the doc goes, I know what you need, Dean. I can help you. And Dean was like, oh, no, not happening. Then we're on the last episode, which starts taking place about 30 hours before Dean goes to hell. So Dean's time is basically running out with Bobby at their side. The brothers battle Lilith and their demon army in the last desperate attempt to save Dean from eternal damnation. Because obviously we find out in the 2 or 3 episodes before that Lilith holds Dean's contract. And Ruby is obviously telling Sam, you know what you need to do to save Dean. You need to embrace your dark side. And obviously Sam is actually really starting to like think, okay, I'll do this to save my brother. And Dean's like, no, what are you doing? No. And they obviously go to this house, and Lilith's obviously in the body of this little child. And they go to kill the child, but obviously it's not in Lilith. Lilith's not in the child anymore. And Dean's time runs out, and Dean goes, look after my wheels. Remember what Dad taught you. Remember what I taught you. There's obviously Dean's resigned. I'm going to hell at this point, even though Sam doesn't want him to go to hell and is willing to embrace his dark side just to save him. And here we find out, when they go and run and hide in a room, that Ruby is not Ruby, it's Lilith. And so Lilith lets the hounds in and they kill Dean. And then Lilith tries to kill Sam, but when she shines the bright light on him like that, it has no effect on him because obviously he's infected with demon blood. So she leaves the body, and then Sam cradles Dean at the end, and the camera zooms into his eye, and then we see Dean in hell screaming for help for Sam. And that's basically the end of season 3. Instantly, I quite enjoyed season 3, even though it was shorter. I quite enjoyed it because I enjoyed Sam trying to save Dean, and Dean just resigned to his fate, even though eventually he came round. But yeah, season 3 I would give about a solid 8.5, 9 out of 10. A really good season. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll do season 4 very soon. Cheers.